Hello my lovelies and welcome to another video on my channel. Thank you very much for joining me today as always. This video is going to be about creating this mani here. So I have an event coming up which is a bit of a cocktail function, so very exciting. It's going to be lovely and I'm really looking forward to it. But I wanted some sort of quite simple design to go with it because the dress is lovely. It's a very simple classic kind of cocktail dress, so I didn't really want too much bling. Obviously I had to go a little bit of bling. I had to go with the glitter polish, but I didn't want anything too over the top, so I didn't want to get too much detailed artwork going on or nail art going on. So I decided to stick with glitter. I've got a design on the dress that's sort of this, I don't know, what would you call that, pewter colour? So this basically is an exact match for that. So I had to go with this colour, and then I decided to go with the classic red because I thought that was lovely, and I've got a red bag and all of those good things. So it also gave me a good reason to try on ombre with the solid gel polish. I haven't done that previously. You've seen me do ombre numerous times, but not with the solid gel polish palette. So I wanted to give that a try because I wanted to try it with the glittery polishes. And I have to say, it's like the quickest and easiest ombre I have ever done. So in this video, you'll see me do the ombre on, I think, 2 of these nails. I don't think I record the thumb because it's the same thing, but you'll see me do it on these 2 nails. And I do not speed that section up. I do not do additional blending when I'm off camera. What you see is what you get. That's exactly how long it took me. You'll see how quick and easy it is. I don't know whether it's because it is solid gel polish, so it doesn't run anywhere. It goes exactly where you place it. Maybe the fact it's glitter as well. I don't know, but it was just so easy to do. It was an absolute pleasure. There was none of that spending hours, you know, well, hours is probably an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Sometimes an ombre can be really tricky. Not with this, it worked really well. So in terms of everything that I used, you will need a base layer of some sort. I already have my builder gel down as usual, so you won't see me apply a base coat, but you'll need some sort of base layer, whether it's acrylic or polygel or builder gel or gel polish. The colours I used are from this palette. So this is the NSI 16-in-1 palette number 5. I do have a 10% off code from your first order with NSI Australia, which I will pop up on the screen. But the 2 colours I use, which you can probably tell quite easily, is this red up here in this second row. It is the only red in this palette, and it is absolutely beautiful. So it does have sort of sparkles of other colours. It's just lovely. It's a really, I just love it. It's beautiful. And then this sort of pewtery colour was the one down here from the bottom row as well. So this is very glittery and sparkly, but does not have other colours in it. So it is just this sort of solid pewtery type colour. And as I said, as you'll see, they ombre absolutely beautifully. You will need to bring your own brushes. These solid gel polishes do not come with a brush. You'll see me use 2. That's just simply because I had one for the red gel polish and one for the pewtery colour. So if you've only got one brush, that's absolutely fine. Just be aware that when you do the different colours, you'll need to clean your brush in between. So just pop a little bit of base coat on a palette and rub your brush through that base coat, and that will strip the colour out ready for your next colour. You will also need an ombre brush. You could also do this with a sponge. It's up to you, personal preference. I personally like to use an ombre brush. Mine's really starting to look a bit tired. I think I'm going to have to replace this fairly soon, but I have had this for years. This is a Born Pretty one, so you've got those brushes. These other 2 items we're going to have a look at now are optional. So you will see in the video that once I've done my colour and I've done my first layer of top coat, I go in and I very lightly buff the final result. You don't really need to do this. These glitters are not, it's not like chunky glitter. They don't leave lumps and things on your nails. They're not rough texture or anything like that. It's just my personal preference. I just wanted to make it really super duper smooth. Not that they were rough. So as I said, this step is entirely optional. But the other bonus of this one, of course, is once you take the shine off and you apply your top coat, oh, you just get that beautiful shine, which is just divine. So added bonus. And if you are going to do that, then you will need a plush brush or something similar to wipe the dust off. You want to have a very, very light hand. If you do choose to do this step, make sure you have a really light hand You're not trying to even go through that layer of top coat. You're just literally smoothing out the very, very surface. If you get too carried away, you will go down into your color layer and you might need to top that up a little bit. I think, oh yes, and sorry, the final one is the top coat. I'm loving this top coat. This is a recent purchase for me. I think it's a fairly new product for NSI, and I just love it. It applies absolutely beautifully, and I just love this brush. The shape of the brush is amazing. It just, I don't know, it just sort of gets into the cuticle area really nicely as you're using it and you apply it on the brush, on your nail. The bristles just seem to go in the perfect spot. I just love it. This has become my favorite, as you've probably gathered, because I think it's the one I've used most recently. And I think that's everything that I used. So as always, I hope this finds you all well. I hope you're all safe. And thank you very much for watching. So first off, I am coming in with the red. I really love this red. It's a really pretty colour. Probably on the more orangey than pinky leaning red. But it's quite a classic red. It would be lovely for a Christmas red or just anything. It's just a nice cheerful red, you know what I mean? It's kind of a classic red. But yes, I think it does definitely lean a little bit more orangey than pinky, but it's very pretty, and in certain lights it's got different coloured pieces of glitter in it. So if you're looking under something bright light like a halogen or an LED or something like that, then you get different colours coming from it. So from there, you just saw me cap the free edge. I always cap the free edge with one of my layers of colour. I don't tend to do it with more than one, unless I've knocked my nail or done something like that. I will just cap the free edge on one coat, because it does add an extra layer of gel polish to the free edge of your nail, and I don't want the free edge to appear too thick. So here you just see me move some of the glitters around. These gel polishes are lovely. Because they're solid gel polishes, they sit exactly where you put them. They don't run anywhere. They do not self-level. You may or may not like that idea. It's up to you. It's all personal preference. It's just something a little bit different. I personally am happy with either way. But they do enable you to get really close up to that cuticle area and your side walls without any risk of them running into the free edge or side walls in the time that you put your nail in the lamp. You know what I'm talking about. Some of those really runny gel polishes, these are just not like that at all. They stay exactly where you place them. So this nail and my middle nail, I'm going to be doing the ombre. So I'm taking that first colour, in this case I'm doing the pewter colour, and I'm just going roughly halfway down the nail. It's not an exact science. You really don't need to be too precise because you're going to be blending them anyway. But you just roughly halfway down the nail. And of course it depends on how many colours you're blending. If I had 3 colours, I'd be going roughly a third of the way down the nail. So you tailor it to what you're doing. I'm just using the 2 colours, and then I'm just going to blend them. So I'm just going roughly halfway down the nail. And I'm doing the reverse for what I've got on my right hand. My right hand, I've got the red at the top and the pewter colour at the bottom. So just in contrast, I'm doing something different on this hand, because as I said, I'm not going in with any crystals or anything too fancy in the terms of the nail art, because of the event that I'm going to. This just seemed more appropriate for what I'll be wearing. But I still wanted glitter and bling, because you know I love my glitter. Absolutely love it. Got to have a little bit of bling somewhere on your nails. So this colour is lovely to apply. This is that pewter colour, and it's just lovely. This is one of my favourite colours to apply, probably, because it goes exactly where you place it, and it's just, they're not streaky, these polishes, which is really nice. And because this is quite opaque with the glitter, you're not getting patchiness at all with the glitter. Sometimes when you've got sparser sort of glitters, you know, you have to manipulate them and move them around the nail a bit more. You don't need to do that with this one, because it's basically a solid gel polish. So it's just a matter of placing it where you want it. And as I said, these don't run anywhere, which you can see by the palette. Obviously, if they did, you wouldn't be able to store them in these palettes. So they are really good for people that struggle with applying too much gel polish and having it run anywhere. Then these are a really good option for you. Because they do just go wherever you place them. So I hope everybody's well. I hope everyone that's viewing this has been had a lovely start to the year and a really good New Year's break. Just, yeah, it's always nice to have a little bit of break over the holidays. So I hope you got a little bit of downtime in there, in amongst the partying and the enjoying yourselves. It's nice to have a bit of a combination sometimes. Or maybe I'm just showing my age. I'm not sure. So now I'm going to go in with the red. I don't show you doing my thumbnail because it's exactly the same as what I'm doing here on the middle finger and the ring finger. So I'm going in with the red, making sure that I cap that free edge as I get to it. And I'm just really just butting that red up against the pewter color. I'm not overlapping it at this stage. I'm just basically going up to it. Because we're going in with an ombre brush, if I was doing a sponge technique, I might be more inclined to overlay them, but you just don't really need to do that with the ombre brush, because that's going to do all the blending for you. So ombre brushes are lovely. If you've never worked with one, they are a really nice tool to use. And you can obviously use them as much and get as, you know, as strong a blend or a subtle blend as you want to. And that also probably depends on the colors that you're using as well, and whether you want a lot of that intermediate color, because obviously when you blend two colors you end up with sort of a third color, and it depends on how much real estate you want to give that as well. So because I'm doing a horizontal ombre, I'm just going in, starting at the top of the nail, working my way down, and then going back up and down the nail. And that's pretty much all there is to using the ombre brush. I think I mentioned in the intro, this was like the easiest ombre I have ever done. I don't know whether it's because of the consistency of the solid gel polishes, but I have not sped that up. I have not done any additional blending off camera. Like, that's literally as long as it took me to do that finger. This is obviously the first coat. I do go in with 3 coats, or yeah, 3 layers, because when you do your ombre, of course, because you're sort of dispersing the color around the nail, you lose a little bit of the opacity. And of course, being glitter polishes as well, it shifts the glitter around the nail. So you probably will end up needing to do at least 1 extra layer when you're doing ombre than you would if you were just doing a straight color. The other thing you need to keep an eye on, as you saw me just then, I wiped off my ombre brush. If you're getting too much gel polish on your ombre brush, just wipe it off. You need to wipe it off quite a few times doing an ombre, just to make sure you're happy with how the placement's looking. And here I'm just coming in with a cleanup brush dipped in isopropyl alcohol. You need to make sure that you remove any trace of gel polish that has ended up on your skin as a result of using the ombre brush. So if you're someone who has allergies to gel polish or potential allergies, you might prefer to use a sponge. For the ombre, you obviously need to be careful that you don't get any gel polish on your skin. Alternatively, you can use that tape. I can't think of what it's called. You know, that liquid tape that you can place around your nail if you're stamping or something like that, so you make a bit less of a mess. I personally don't use that, but if you do have concerns, then you can use that. Just place it around your cuticle area and sidewalls, and then any of the gel polish will end up on the tape and not on your skin. So alternatively, if you don't have that tape, then just make sure you remove the gel polish as soon as possible. And you should be all good, unless I said if you've got an allergy, then please don't do that at all. So here I'm just going in with my cleanup brush. I've just put my second layer of that red. I only do 2 layers of the solid nails where I'm not doing the ombre. 2 layers is plenty with this gel polish. Even doing very thin layers, that is enough. I probably could have got away with 1, especially with that pewtery color, but I just like to do 2 because I think it gives you a nicer finish, gives you a more consistent finish, and it just, yeah, it's probably just a habit because that's what I've done for the last decade, but you know, old habits die hard and all of that. So here I'm just going in, I've turned my brush on its side, as you can see, to give me a finer point, and just got as close as I possibly can to that side wall. Look at the shine on that glitter. It's just, oh, it's just so stunning. So pretty. And because these gel polishes don't run, I'm not sure if I mentioned before or not, you do not need to freeze cure these. You can do if you want to, if you're worried about knocking your nails, which I've done before. If you're worried about that, then yes, by all means freeze cure them. But you certainly don't need to from the point of view of concerns about the gel polish running, because it's just not going to do that. So here I'm just going in and rinse and repeat. Basically, I'm going in with my second coat of that fuchsia color, and I'm pretty much going halfway up to the line. You don't need to worry if you're going slightly over where your ombre is, because you're going to do the ombre again anyway. So it really doesn't matter if you get some of that over that red glitter or a bit over where it's blended. It's absolutely fine. I basically do exactly what I did the first time, which is take that first color halfway down the nail and then meet with the second color halfway and then go in with the ombre brush. It's one of those trust the process type designs when you do an ombre. The first layer is always going to look pretty average, just because, as I said, because you're dispersing the color, it's going to look very sort of, yeah, see-through and not great. So it's a case of just getting the blend the way you want it, as opposed to the look and the opacity. It's just getting that blend how you want it, and then you can cure it, and then you just go in and repeat at least once, maybe twice. There's no harm in doing 3 thin coats. It's absolutely fine. As you can see, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm starting at the top of the nail, working my way down, and then doing the reverse. And that's how you get a really nice blend. So in this case, I'm not trying to get an interim color. Do you know what I mean? Like if I had, say at the top I had black and then I had white at the bottom, you're going to end up with gray in the middle. Now sometimes you'll want that gray color, that middle color, to be a third of that nail, in which case you would need to blend more than what I am here. What I'm just trying to do is get it to the point where I don't have that solid thick line between the two colors. I just want them to blend seamlessly into each other. And as you can see, when you're doing it like that, it's really quite a quick process. I was amazed at how quick it was to do this. So I'm putting the credit with the fact that it's the solid gel polish, and it's not running anywhere. It's just going exactly the way I want it to, and it's a thicker consistency. So it's just, yeah, it's just so easy to blend. It's brilliant. I was yeah, I was very impressed with the blendability of these gel polishes. So I will most definitely be ombreing with them again, especially because I've got 2 other palettes. So if any of you've seen my reviews of these palettes, I've got 2 that don't have the glitter polishes. They're creamy colors, so they would be absolutely perfect to blend. So I have a feeling I'll be doing lots of ombres with them in my future designs. So there, I just cured it. These polishes do need 60-second cure, by the way. So that was 60 seconds between each layer. And I'm just going in with the 3rd layer, just because I wanted a little bit more opacity, particularly with the red. The pewter a bit less so, because it's a solid glitter color, whereas the red, because it's got other colors, I felt like it needed that 3rd layer. But as you can see, I am doing 3 very thin coats, which is typical of me. If you did slightly thicker coats, then you could probably have got away with 2. The other fingers I just did, or my ring finger and, sorry, my little finger and my index finger just had the 2 coats, because that was all they needed. The thumb had the 3 as well, because it's identical to the middle and the ring finger. I just didn't show it on camera. So what are your thoughts on that, by the way? You know, are you happy for me just to show doing 1 layer of color? Do you want me to show doing all layers of colors? And my thumb as well, like if my thumb's the same as my other fingers. Let me know what your preference is, whether to keep the videos a little bit shorter and just show you each design on 1 nail, or do you want to see the whole process? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That would be really good. Thank you. So I think there I was just cleaning off my brush and then coming in for that 3rd and final ombre. Let me know what you think about this color combination. Do you like it? I think it looks pretty funky. Hopefully it will be good with the outfit that I'm wearing. As I said, the sort of pewter color is the color of the design on my dress. So I'm kind of hoping that that'll pick up in the light really nicely. Sorry if you can hear that in my background. That's one of my dogs. She's in here with me. She makes a bit of noise sometimes, but she's so cute. And she's 14, so, you know, she's entitled to make noise at her age, I reckon. That's a big sign. You okay, Daisy? You okay? Yes, I'm sure she's fine. And here you can just see I was just doing a little bit of concentrating on that left side wall. And I think I go in with a little bit of extra color there in just a second. I think there was a little bit of a patch where I thought, no, that needs a little bit more of the gel polish. So I just go in with that and fix that up. But the ring finger was absolutely fine. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. Yeah, see just there, I've got like a little gap on the side. Things like that really irritate me, and so as soon as I spot them, I have to fix them. I can't help myself. So I just go in with a little bit of the red first, because that's where the biggest gap was, and then I go in with a little bit of that pewter color. And of course that could have happened when I was doing the ombreing as well, so because you are moving the colors around the nail. But I don't need to worry about going back in with the ombre brush. I just sort of ombreed them a little bit with the brush that I had in my hand, and that was absolutely fine. So orange wood sticks, oh my goodness, these are the best tool. Like, they are such underrated tools. I think orange wood sticks and dotting tools for me are just so underrated. They're fabulous things to have in your collection. So here I'm just going in with this top coat. Oh my goodness, I am loving this top coat. Do any of the rest of you have this top coat? I just love it. It is amazing. It is, I think it's quite a new product, and I just love the brush on it. I mean, look at how well that just sits in the cuticle area. It's just brilliant. I just love it. It's not too runny. I don't need to flash cure with this polish. You know, I would if I was going to take, you know, quite a while to do the next nail, but because I'm just doing the 4 nails, there's no need to flash cure it at all. Make sure you cap the free edge as always. You must cap the free edge on your top coat. Even more important than doing it on your color coats, because color coats, it's just for the look. You know, it just looks nicer to have the free edge with the color, you know, matching your nail. But top coat is essential because that is going to protect and help your mani last longer. So you definitely want to, most definitely want to cap with your top coat. And then this is a 60-second cure, this top coat, so that is going to go off into the lamp for 60 seconds. My lamp is a 48-watt lamp. So this is the optional step. So I'm just having a little bit of a feel of these nails. They're not rough at all. This is purely optional. This is just me going in, probably being a little bit pedantic. I just wanted them to be super smooth, and to be quite honest, I just so much love the look of matte glitter, and then you go in with the shine of the top coat and it just looks amazing. So this is purely optional, but it is a step that I like to do sometimes. I would definitely do this step if I had chunky glitter, because you can feel that, and that can leave a little bit of a rough texture. This isn't rough. I wouldn't call it rough. It's just a bit, maybe a little bit bumpy is probably the word. So as I said, most people it would not bother, but you just want to go in. This is just a buffer, by the way. Do not do this with a file because it will be too aggressive. You're just literally taking the shine off and smoothing out any sort of bumps that you've got on the nail, and then just wipe off the dust. That's my plush brush that I've got sitting there. You can just wipe off that dust. And then I think I do the other 3 off camera, because, you know, when you've seen 2, you've seen 5. It's all the same. Just a very light buff. If you go in being aggressive, then you will remove some of that glitter. You'll damage some of your glitter and have to patch that up, which is not really what you want to do. So I just do the same thing on all 5 nails. Get rid of any dust, just checking that it feels absolutely smooth and wonderful, which it does. And here I'm just going in with a lint-free wipe and some cleanser. You can use cleanser or isopropyl alcohol, whatever you have appropriate to your gel polish. Make sure you get under the nails as well. Dust has a habit of getting everywhere. Not that there's very much when you do this, but it certainly doesn't hurt just to make sure that your nail is nice and squeaky clean. Get rid of that as gently as you can so that you don't get dust flying all over the place. And then just come in with your top coat. And oh, I love this. This is my favorite bit. I just love this. It's just amazing. Oh yeah, that's, I think I remembered to just tell you what I was doing. This is my top coat. And look at that. Oh, look at that shine. It's just beautiful. So, so pretty. Does anyone else have that when it comes to glitters? It just looks, it looks amazing. And I think that's why, like, I can never really bring myself to do matte glitters. I know that my New Year's mani, I did do that, and that was an absolute exception for me, and that was because I wanted the gold and the silver fireworks and champagne to really show through. But on a solid nail like this, I could not bring myself to matte top coat it, because it just looks, the shine is just amazing. But yes, I'm just a blingy, shiny kind of girl. I like things to sparkle in the light. You know, when you see this under like halogens or LEDs, it just looks amazing. Ah, it's so pretty. So yes, as always, I would like to thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful in some way. If you haven't tried ombreing with these solid gel polishes, give it a go. I just found it so easy and just pleasant to use and relatively quick. Certainly, if you're new to ombre, I would suggest trying this before you try it on a gel polish. So if you have not liked and subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would love to have you watching my other videos. Thank you very much for watching as always. I hope you are well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!